All right, man. All right, you're cruising down the street, right? Cruising down the street, 100 miles per hour, 120 miles per hour. Like you're letting it go. You're driving, you're moving, right? I've got a question for you. How do you know that you're going fast, right? Simply, you're cruising down the street, you know what I'm saying, your sports car. How do you know you're actually going fast? How? How would you know? Boom. Maybe you look and say, wow, that building passed fast. Or, whoa, I almost hit a pole. That pole went past really fast, right? Or, wow, I can't even see the lines. I can't see the lines in the street. Or, oh my goodness, I just passed a bird. There was a bird flying and I passed the bird and, man, I'm going fast, right? Reference is how you would know how fast you're going. A reference point. What if you're going 1,000 miles per hour, right? Let's imagine 1,000 miles per hour. We're out of space in a rocket ship. 1,000 miles per hour. How will we know if we're going fast? We wouldn't be able to know. Why wouldn't we be able to know? Because we would have no reference. It's a very important psychological thing to understand about a human being. Our perspective on speed and positioning, or position over time, which is speed, is we get it from references. We take reference points in order to understand how fast we're moving. We determine our velocity in respect to other things around us, right? And it makes perfect sense. Well, this applies to actual life, right? Like I've been working a lot to move, forward financially, to move forward career-wise. And I promise you, at the beginning, things felt so fast. It just felt really fast. Just imagine going from nothing, you're at a dead stop, right? Imagine sitting in the middle of the street in a car, you're not moving at all. So even if you start to move a little, you have reference points of the environment. Hey, that McDonald's is starting to be behind me. So I'm moving, okay? And I'm moving not that fast, but I have an idea of how much I'm moving and I'm very aware. It's really easy to quantify my speed. But let's go ahead and speed that up, right? Let's start zooming. We're zooming, we ramp that up to 50, 60, 70, right? Now we're like, okay, I'm definitely going fast. Things are moving past me really quick. I'm getting excited because I'm moving, man. I know I'm moving. I am going. I'm passing guys on the street at 60, 70 miles per hour, man. I know I have momentum. Ramp that up to 100 miles per hour. Now even guys that are moving look like they aren't moving, right? I can go past someone driving at 40 while I'm going 100, and it dang near looks like they're not moving at all. But the only way I know, and we know that the only way we get an interpretation or an idea of our velocity is through actually having a reference, right? So that's really cool to think about, man. I started at zero, right? I started at $0, right? I started at zero career, zero skills, just at zero. So any little thing I did, I could tell that I was growing. It was like, man, I can see the growth because that thing, those people are sitting still. And I can see my growth because those people aren't moving as fast as I am. And I have these reference points, right? I can see my business growing because those businesses aren't doing these things, right? So it's very interesting. But if you're in a car and you're on the interstate, and there happens to be, let's imagine being on an open road. The only way, an open road, you can't see anything. All you can see is sky, right? No trees, no nothing, right? It's very hard to find a place like that, by the way. But without a reference point, you will really lose your idea of how fast you're moving, right? So, I started at zero, like I said, and kind of working my way up. I started to notice that I was moving quick, man. Boom, out of college, you're making more than 100,000. Wow, from 0 to 100,000, that feels like 0 to 100. That feels like I went from standing still in the corner to going 100 miles per hour down the interstate, and I could tell that I was going fast because I could look at all these cars and be like, man, I'm definitely going fast, right? I'm going way faster than these people in these other cars, right? So That's a very interesting thing. So what about when you make it to another I'll call it another atmosphere. Yeah, let's say you make it to another atmosphere called space, right? Space, there's the same situation. And the way the economy works, man, you have all these people crowded out at the bottom, right? You have low class, you have middle class. If you know, when you're moving through this part of the atmosphere, you can have so many reference points. You know, those guys make 10K, those guys make 15, those guys make 20, those guys make 30, those guys make 80, those guys make 100, those guys make 200, those guys make 300, those guys make 400, those guys make 600, those, you know, but once you really get out of that and you start to get into another atmosphere, you know, this spacey area where things are really stretched out, right? It's like, I can see reference points, but they're so far away that any change in my position looks like nothing, right? It's a very interesting illusion. So imagine being out of space in a rocket ship going 1,000 miles per hour. You've never went this fast ever in your life. You were just on Earth going 100 and you were going crazy. You thought you were going so fast. So now you're in space. You're going 1,000 miles per hour. You're looking at Uranus. You're looking at the stars. You're looking at all this stuff and you're like, I'm going 1,000 miles per hour. But when you look out the window in your rocket ship, it looks like you're literally not moving at all. And the reason why is because things are so spaced out and so large that it gives you the illusion in your mind that you're not moving and that you slowed down. When in actuality, you've made it to such a realm where the previous definition of fast just doesn't work anymore. It's not the same. Right? It's just not the same. But how do you counteract that? There is one way to actually understand your momentum. Okay? It takes, you have to quantify your momentum using something in order to give your brain the ability to understand your speed, because you can't use reference anymore because it just doesn't work. Right? So if I'm in this 1,000 mile per hour rocket ship, it doesn't work to look out the window and say, let me look at you guys and see how fast I'm going. You guys are way back there, like extremely far. You guys are extremely far up there. I'm in the middle. I'm going faster than I ever have, and it's insane how fast I'm going, but it's like 10 times faster than I was going when I was going really fast. And I can't tell. Well, I can actually use a speedometer. If I'm in a rocket ship, I can quantify my speed using some device or some metrics to calculate my speed, right? So as you move through your career and as you move through success and as you move through your economics and you grow your economics, you're gonna notice that you're gonna reach a point where it feels like you're not even making progress while you're doing better than you ever before. You're gonna be doing way better than you ever have before. You're gonna feel like you're not making progress. That is this illusion at play. This is exactly very normal. This is extremely normal. What you have to do is you have to come up and to create your own speedometer. You have to create your own metrics for determining your speed and your pace, so that you understand that I'm going 10 times faster than I ever have. Now, I'm not passing things as fast as I usually do because I've made it to an environment where 1,000 miles per hour is the new slow. That's the new standstill, right? So that gets you creative. You have to start to think outside the box, right? You start figuring out how to increase your speed. Maybe I need to lower my mass because there's a correlation between mass and speed, and such that if I can decrease my mass, then I can move through this environment even faster. And now I can use these things as reference point, yada yada, right? Just trying to make it fun. But at the end of the day, the reference of looking and observing doesn't work anymore. You've grown too far. This is a good spot to be in. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm coming up with my own metrics to determine speed. This is what me and my wife are doing. We're coming up with our own metrics to determine velocity, because we have to grow to another level. In this realm, we have to reach such a velocity that we can start back using visual reference. We want to be there. And I also want to say it's okay to compare yourself. So people look at comparing yourself to others and stuff as negative. It's positive. Humans, we gain our understanding of things by observing and comparing. It's not a negative thing. You shouldn't envy people. You shouldn't hate people. You should love people. You should admire people. And you should learn from people, right? And you should use them as reference, right? To actually understand your reality. If you think you're moving faster than a McDonald's, that's a problem, right? If you think you're moving down the street faster than a McDonald's that's on a corner, a brick and mortar, that's a problem. So you need to compare your speed to McDonald's. That makes sense. And it also makes sense to compare your speed to someone else's car to determine, am I going fast, right? If this guy's going down the street at 30 miles per hour, and I can tell because I was stopped, and if I zoom past, I'm like, man, I'm at least going 60. And those things give you an idea of your space you're in. All right, so keep doing that when it comes to your economics, and keep doing that when it comes to your career. All right, and come up with those metrics to understand your velocity. I'm doing it now. I might share with you guys some of the tools we're using, some of the strategies we use to understand how fast we're going and how we're going to scale our speed. But either way, man, keep growing, keep doing what you do. I love talking to you guys. I'm going to have more content coming. I just want to share stuff with you guys and share the mindset as I grow and reach my full potential, me and my wife together, man. So love you guys. Peace.